Welcome to the Three River Valley series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 2nd of August 1951, which is a couple of months on from the end of the last video. And in that video we were putting together our work camp here, and in this part what I want to do is start putting together the construction offices and then the ability to bring in the foreign workers to start to build this work camp here. But before that, as usual, a big thank you for all your comments and feedback. You guys give me a lot to think about. Now, well, I did get a comment about the fact that I didn't put a fire station in, so I've now put in a fire station here, which should be able to service this area here. There's also a little bit of an omission I've got here related to water pumps, but I'll come back with that after I've done the rest of your comments. Now, I did get a question. It was a very interesting question because I'd never ever considered it before. And that is it possible to put a cableway across this river? And the answer is no. The reason is that if I show you here, just put that there, you see you don't actually get the reach. And I haven't actually checked to see whether anyone's built a mod that's got super high towers. I mean, you could get across a narrow river like that, but that's about the best you can get. So no. I mean, if the water here was shallower, you could possibly create an island in the center, which would allow you to kind of span across. Then the problem with that is, as with realistic mode, is how you'd build it. So it's a little bit icky. Another part of that question is whether you can mix aggregate with passengers, and you can't. But because the aggregate loading is separate, but what you can do is if you come up here, remember the aggregate stores are actually one way, but as far as I know, you can mix, say for example, if we had a coal mine up here, you can mix coal and gravel as long as you've got the two conveyors breaking out down the bottom here. But the aggregate is actually one way. But one thing I didn't notice while I was actually checking is the fact that the passenger cableway will carry ordinary goods. And just to show you, if we come over to here, we'll get out of the way, you can see this has actually got a factory connection. Now, the question I've got for you guys is this two-way? Because I've never really thought of using a cableway to move ordinary goods. I've always regarded it as a way of moving aggregate goods and people. If you could actually move goods in two directions, say, that has potential, because I assume that you can mix carts on the same cableway. Because I had a bit of a thought while I was thinking about this, is that if I built a small village up here, could I build a cableway? I mean, it'd be a very long cableway, but could I build a cableway that would actually bring the goods up to here, say food and alcohol and clothes, so that we wouldn't have to use trucks? That's an interesting concept. I mean, even if it only came up to about here and into a warehouse, and then we use trucks to do the flat bit there, it would mean that you wouldn't have that bit there. And I'll be honest, if I was aware of that when I was planning here, I think I might have put another cableway down to bring food and clothes down rather than relying on this kind of road here. And that actually opens up a possibility. I mean, I've emphasized a possibility of maybe putting a town down here, because we've got a nice big pile of coal down here. And I've been putting off coming down this way simply because of the building the road down here and into here. But if you built a town down here with some coal mines, you could open this up, and then, and of course, what you'd have, and if we got iron over there, we could create a small steel town down here. The only downside is that we'd have to use ships to really move the resources around, because there's no way you can get in here with a railway. Anyway, that is long-term speculation. And then somebody did ask me about the way the fields work. And the way the fields actually work, it's not a good example. What you've got is that when you're harvesting, you've got the harvester here, and then you've got a truck here. And what you see is the truck sits here, and effectively each field works like a warehouse, with the truck set to wait until unloaded. So he sits there and waits. Now, if you watch, if we put the field back up, what you'll see is that I'll just speed the game up a bit. What you'll see is the crops will start to build up here while the other trucks are away. And what the game seems to do is assign one truck to one field. So we've got 3.6 tons. But what should happen eventually, you've got the truck come in, and he will zap up all the crops straight away from the field. And then he will sit here until he fills up. So the ideal situation with trucks, although it's a little bit risky, is to have trucks coming in here at intervals when the harvester is actually put 10 tons into here. The downside of that is that when you get to the end of the winter, you can push the harvesting a little bit further into December if you've got a truck picking up while the harvester's going. Because what the game seems to throw away is the good crops there. So you can see. So this guy's picked up 10 tons again, and it's now building up again. The key is that if you click on a field, like any field that's got, I mean, probably out here. Now this field is possibly a little bit dodgy, because if this builds up more than the capacity of the truck coming out, then you might have a problem. But what the game seems to do is it has the intelligence that if this starts to build up, the truck, they will send out to see that. There's an example there that this field is actually lagging behind the actual truck pickup. But and what you'll see there, is that the truck there is coming out, and look at that. See, he's got perfect timing. But what what the game will do is assign second trucks, and now he's actually caught up with that field. So my general rule for configuring farms, or even if whether you use a distribution office or not, because of course I don't have any covered holes in here, because this one isn't hooked to a silo. Because the trouble is, if you put in covered holes in here, the limit on this farm is 200 tons, and what happens is this farm fills up to 200 tons, then the trucks stop working. So it's very important that if you're going to run a farm like this, and you're going to put covered holes into the actual farm itself, the farm needs to be hooked to a fairly substantial silo like this, so that what you can do is get the excess out. And that's something I did learn quite early in my 7 Crosses series. But you can get away with it as long as this doesn't start to build up. The key sign is if you click on a field and you've got 10, 20 tons sat in the field waiting to be collected and no truck in sight coming to pick it up. Again, we just got this guy. This one's coming out. See, just show you there. And he's got a capacity of 12 tons, and he's just going to come in there. So your really efficient use is this. But as I say, it does have some risks associated with it when you're getting to the end of the year, because crops left in the field spoil as winter arrives. See, this guy's got 10 tons because this one's just finished. And he's just coming. Look at that. Nice clean sweep there. Anyway, now, but my actual problem, which I've been talking about for some time, is there's a couple of fields that don't actually get harvested. And the reason for that is that I have slow tractors and all that. And I've actually gone and had to go and get some stats for this. So you can see we've now got a combine coming out here. And what I've got in here is I've got 3 Fordson tractors, and these have a top speed of 21 and a harvesting speed of 18. Sowing speed, not harvesting speed. Because one way to actually be able to make your harvesting more efficient is to actually get your sowing over quicker, because the faster the sowing's finished, then the earlier the crop starts growing, and then the earlier the harvesters can get out and actually pick out things. But of course, you can see here, this one's actually got every harvester is out, and but this one you can see that the last harvesters. So this one's actually in balance at the moment because I've got lots of harvesters here. So what I really need is an upgrade to my actual machinery. Now the CTX is here, which is the sowing machine, sowing tractors in here, is actually got a top speed of 15 kilometers per hour plus 20 harvesting, which is about the best you can get until the late 50s. And the Burrell is a bit of an oddity because it's a very early vehicle which I can't buy anymore, but it's actually got a top speed road speed of 40 but only a sowing fit speed of 15. But I'm kind of half thinking about maybe replacing these. Now I've got a People's pre-war harvester, and I can actually show you the stats on that up here. If we come to here, I show you harvesting. This is the pre-war one. You can see it's got a top speed of 15 kilometers an hour and a harvesting speed of 17. Now in 1946 we got this one, which has got 2 kilometers faster at both levels. I don't think there's a lot of difference in there. I mean, I could try it, but there's no point putting one in here just at the moment. Now, I have looked. We will get a slightly better harvester in about 1959, but the best harvesters, I won't get for quite some time. And the best harvester I found, well, the best vehicle I found for sowing is a K700, which is a modded, which is what comes available in 1962, which is a maximum road speed of 35 and a sowing speed of 40. And then there's a harvester, which I didn't actually write down the date when it became available, which is a top speed of 30 kilometers an hour and a harvesting speed of 28. So at the moment, I'm not too worried about the losses from these fields, but what I'm hoping is that when we get some better kit come in, I will be able to make recover those last few crops, possibly add another field if possible, but there's no point at the moment because we are losing crops through winter. Anyway, that very long digression out the way is just give you a bit of an update. There's not much going on resource-wise, but the happiness is improving. Our health is not perfect. We've still got unemployment. Our population is 9,151, so we're slowly approaching 10,000. Up here, we've been lucky so far, and we're still kind of building in the infrastructure. We've got a hospital. We've got we've got no drinking water, so we're working on the drinking water in this area, and more importantly the heating, because there's no point trying to move anyone into here until we've actually got the heating working. I just want to check. I mean, we're kind of a little bit overloaded at the moment, but maybe I should start. Actually, what I could do is, because conveyors can be a little bit of a specialist run, especially the spans here, because it doesn't involve gravel or asphalt or anything like that. So sometimes you can get a quick win with conveyors when you've got lots of other vehicles kind of working on, say, pre-construction, which is what you've got here. So you can often, if you've got a spare covered hole and a few spare workers, you can get in here and actually build the conveyor system. Well, that's the theory anyway. So yeah, so we're still kind of grinding away at this at the moment. We are making progress. What I'm hoping to do is get the first residents moving in 1952. That's assuming that none of this actually burns down through the winter or something, because of course we don't have any fire cover up here at the moment. I'm kind of chancing my arm a little bit here with respect to the fire station, but that's the way it is. And I've resisted the temptation to put food and clothes and electronics in here, simply because, well, I just don't really want to put in that there. The one thing has occurred to me, and is that just trying to think, where could I put it? So we could put it over here actually, because I'm a little bit addicted to a nice little mod which I've really started to use in this part, and it's these hunting huts, and they don't take a lot of stuff, and they take very small amounts of alcohol. And what I'm thinking is to put a couple, maybe get one over like a footpath just in there. Oh, we got that thingy there, haven't we? We got the road there. Why is that? That looks a bit suspicious. I'm not happy with that. I don't think that's actually connected. Let me send that this way. Then what we could do is just put in a little hunting hut here. Got no water. I think we're going to put them out here. They don't need a lot of resources. What is that? That's yeah. For some reason this thinks it needs a power supply. And what I'm going to do is put... I'll just build this in. I'm going to put 2 of them out here, side by side. And what that will do is give us the meat collection. And that will make us self-sufficient in meat. And that's probably a good kind of run into what we're going to be doing up here now. Now, the first thing I want to fix is, and partly the reason why I was stalling is I was waiting for this footpath to be built. Actually, is that I wasn't going to put water in up here, but I think considering the cost of vehicles and all that, what I'm considering is I want to cover the accommodation. I suppose we could put that there, and I want to put just put you there like that. And what this will do is it'll ensure that I can put a little bit there. And what I'm going to do is put a big pumping station about there. Okay, just like that. Put in a small footpath there. Because we go underground. Put a large pipe from there and from there to there. What that will mean is that we'll supply water to the camp and we'll have a fringe out here for any additional industries and stuff like that. Just had a thought, could I put a hunting lodgy thing here? When we got the workers, we should be able to get the workers for it. Actually, if I put it there, let me just see. Put it in about there, couldn't we? I mean, we'd have to bring in the alcohol and food, but we're gonna have to do that anyway. But we could get a supply of meat, which could be useful. A bit worried about buildings on fire. One thing I have noticed with this game is that you can get rashes of fire. Oh no, it's okay. We're in a good control situation. We got some. Wow. Okay, we got another fire here, but they're on the case. That's good. Got no workspace. Okay. See why we've got unemployed people again. Yeah, I think the problem is up here, we're getting a lot more people here, but this is now filling up, which is a bit of a problem. Just want to make sure that we're kind of utilizing all the workforce, because I did drop some of these buildings down. Oh, I am actually building that. Put this in. The other thing I can't remember whether I built or not. Let me just check list of buildings. Where is it? Not courthouse. Can never find this. It's the cargo construction office attraction. Don't think I've actually got one. I don't have a town hall. Okay. So what we're going to do is put in a town hall up here. Actually, we could put a city hall up here, couldn't we? We've got unemployed workers. What should we go for? Rouse house. Put this up here. How many people do you employ? 20. Yeah, we could put a rouse house up here, couldn't we? It doesn't need a lot. And it's got all the services. Okay, just put you in there. Just make sure you get that. You can build that. Okay, what was I doing? I can't even remember if I put a city hall in up there. Just to show you the progress with the track. I've now electrified all this area here. It seems my train has decided it wants to go across the bridge. Oh well, we'll just leave him there as long as we make sure that he finishes off this bit of track before he moves off too far. Is that actually listed? Let me just check. I want to put you on there to queue up. Yeah, I think we'll just let him build the bridge out. I mean, nothing else to do. Anyway, let's just get back up to here. So we've now got our kind of office here being built. We've got things being built. And of course, at the moment, what we've got is a number of construction offices up here. You can see they're actually kind of running out a little bit of steam at the moment. And what I want to do is put another construction office in. We're just going to deploy all our free ones. How many have we got? We got 5 out of 7. So we can get one there. We'll put another one there. So at the moment we've got, see what we've got in the way of mechanisms. Probably the big dumpers. I mean, they're useful. We got an excavator and we got a couple of excavators in here. Sorry. Got 2 excavators, 2 dumpers here. Now, to start with, what we need is, let me just check, get going. For your average buildings, we need boards and steel. So we need some open holes. I can't remember with the electronics. This needs some electronics, so we need a covered hole, and then we need workers. So what we're going to do is we're going to designate you as the crew. In fact, what I'm going to do is we're just going to do that. If you don't select one of these and then click on, say, a building that provides certain resources, what happens is it just gets allocates everything that it can supply. So that's a little shortcut of when you've got things to do. I think we'll have this one for the workers, this one for the open holes. So what we're going to need in here is a couple of open holes. Capacity. Right, we got a couple of these. So we're going to get, we get 1, 2, 3 open holes. And 1 covered hole. Capacity. I think we use the Tatra trucks. They're not fast, but they've got a bit. Actually, no, we can get a bit of speed with this. Let's look at speed wise, because we're not going to deliver large quantities of electronics and stuff like that. Yeah, actually, we got this one's 70 kilometers an hour, so let's buy you. And I think for the moment we'll just let these guys freelance. Now, of course, the next thing we're going to need in here. This one I am going to allocate specifically because I only want workers here. I don't, well, for the moment. I don't think we've got anything in the way of cranes up here. So what I want to buy here is I want a road crane. What's the best one? This is 65. This is 61. Got speed level, construction speed level of 25. We'll get a road crane 55, 60. We'll buy one of those. So we're going to have a whole range of Tatra capacity. Again, it's going to be more speed than for the moment. Not that well, the fastest we can go anyway is 60. So I think, should I go cheapskate and go for these with 20 passengers or 52? I think we're going to get a couple of these ISIS. Then, and what they will do once they get here is actually pick up the workers. And what we're going to do is just let the game freebase a little bit to begin with. Actually, no, let me just take off roads and footpaths and factory connections. I don't want you doing that. Now, I don't think anything here is actually needs asphalt, does it? You need steel. I don't want the game to wait. Okay, we're gonna have to put a stop on the auto detects. I don't want the game wasting resources on technical services at the moment. And just see. Okay, where are you going? I think I might have made a mistake here. Obviously, the game has decided that finishing off that road is probably more important. Missing concrete mixer. Okay. Right, we're going to have to put a concrete mixer in here. Okay, we're 55. Okay. 3.5 tons. We'll get you. And what I'll do is locate you for concrete. Yeah, I've got the concrete. So why are you... What are you building? Okay. For some reason he's working on this road. Let me just see. Why aren't you delivering goods? I think probably what's happening is the game is working on to see what's going on. Haha. Right, we got concrete, gravel, and asphalt going in here. Oh, what we do need is my gravel trucks out here. Oh, you're picking up everything anyway, so that's good. Just you're picking up everything as well. So we are starting to. Yeah, I think it just took the game a little while to work out what's going on here. So yeah, we are starting to now make progress. I mean, obviously, it's going to take a little while to get the workforce out here. Quite a lot of workers. And we've got no more construction camps, have we? We got quite a lot of... I think what we could do is sell some of these guys for money. And because they're a little bit slow now. So if we sell off these, that would give us the money. And then what I can do is we'll put you into there. Because in some ways we've got a lot more kind of asphalt-y type trucks than what we actually need. So these have got the bigger capacity and these are 9.5. These are 4 tons. Right, let me just send you to there. And then we'll put you into there. what that does is give me some space, and I think what we will do is get a couple more of these, and maybe, or an excavator, what would be the best one? Let me just see. I think a little bit tempted to get a road crane, but at the same time, we don't need a paver. Bulldozer, dumper. The game doesn't think I need more buses. Yeah, I think we've probably got enough. Okay, set you up to tech buildings. I think we're setting you all up to detect buildings now. Get you going. You need to detect buildings as well, so that we can get. Well, okay, that guy's actually okay. I'll take it. So basically, what we're going to do is just let these guys go free for all up in this area, so that we can start. I mean, if we lose a tent, it's not like the end of the world. It's not like we got massive resources that need to be put together. So we're just gonna let the game come up here and have some fun and start to build this. This is camp power, actually. Okay, and that could be useful long term. In fact, we're gonna need to get some covered holes to deliver the food and various other bits and pieces into here as well. So we're just gonna leave these guys to do their own thing, and we'll come all the way back down here. And we'll see if we're developing any problems. Got loyalty at 51%. I think we've kind of capped out our loyalty. I think to get higher, we're going to have to add personal cars and stuff like that. But I don't really want to go there just at the moment. That's being built. Let's just see what's going on up here with respect to roads. Got to keep on our money because the what we call it are a bit expensive. We'll add one of those to the list. These are a quick build, should be. I mean, a little bit of concrete, a little bit of asphalt. We only need the one to get going with. This is our water well, which is out of mechanical components. Okay. I've kind of run into a little bit of an impasse now, guys, because I really need to catch up with a lot of this building. So let me just come over to here. I think what we're going to do, fire. Ah, this is where we lose the fire, our technical office, because there is no fire here. Okay. Painful. We're going to sell the vehicles very quickly, because, well, we're going to lose them anyway. We might as well make some money back. Yeah, there's absolutely, this is my own fault. Okay, we're going to have to fix this. Do I have a distribution office now? Okay. Gotta remember how to do this now. Vehicles. I didn't really want to do this, but we're gonna have to. I think we're gonna have to do this. So we're gonna what we're gonna need to do is buy a bus. While you're doing that, we're gonna need a fire engines. Oops. There it goes. Right, we want speed. and capacity. This is 6. This is 4. What's the best we've got is 8. So we're gonna have to go for speed. Get 2 of those and maybe 2 of those. Hard lesson. And then what we'll do is you're gonna pick up only workers. Well, you can only pick up workers anyway, and you're gonna deliver them to the fire station. And get this to be rebuilt. Luckily, well, no, these guys are going to suffer from cold, but there's not much I can do about this, and it's going to cost me money. So we've got a fully manned fire station now, and we should have a reasonable coverage. Yeah. Yeah, the temperature's too low. Yes, so sorry guys, but there's nothing much I can do about it. I mean, at the end of the day, we lost gravel. I mean, probably the way to contrast it is, if you see this is 32 gravel. If I come into, let's just see. If I show you the same technical office alongside, you can see that this actually needs 67 tons of bricks, 25 tons of steel, 32 tons of concrete. But what you actually see is that the rebuilding is only for the concrete, the gravel, and the asphalt. It's almost like the bricks and the steel and the boards are still there. So even though the building burnt down, because we're not reliant on it, we'll be okay. And we actually saved a bit of money because we managed to recover the vehicles before we actually did it. So we're just gonna have to, but you have to keep an eye on the money now, because we're kind of losing it now, because of the one, because I've spent a lot on vehicles, and the other now is what's going to happen is that what we're doing is kind of outstripping our income. So I think what I am going to do, we're going to export meat. We need to get our costs down, otherwise what's going to happen is the economy is going to implode. I think also that now we've got this done, what we can do is, because we're actually paying for the fire coverage, we need a couple of covered holes here. Again, capacity. Really need some nice vehicles, but we're going to get a couple of Tartarus, and we also need a refrigeration truck. And what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to mess about trying to bring stuff down from up top. I think for the moment we're going to just go for a direct drop off here, and I think to get started, we're going to need a covered hole. Did I buy covered holes? Or these are covered holes, aren't they? Are they? Yep. And we want food, clothes, electronics, and meat. And you will drop everything off and put 50% in there. What that will do is it will start to fill in this, put the supplies in here. Again, it's going to cost us money, but it will just make a bit of a difference there. And once we build up a bit more funds, we'll have to get some ambulances in here. We need to build these buildings as well. How are we doing? Kind of feel that we need to break ground with these now. And then of course what we have to have is the heating pipes underneath. We're still building this. We need the heating plant, which we can build through the year after people moved in. We've got to get the water. Looks like the water supply is not too bad. We've got the water supply into here, over here. We've got, let's see the power supply. We've got power to here, so we've got the power in place. We've got the sewage in. We've only got the water. We can build the heat. Take a chance of building the heating plant through the next year, 1952. Yeah. I think what we're going to need to do is get people up here ready to go. Get back over to here. Like our unemployment has dropped again, so because we've got a lot more trucks coming out here. We'll build that. That will also suck up any surplus unemployment in this area. How's the train going? Kind of, yeah, we're kind of getting a problem with steel now, but that's the way it goes. I don't want to import steel because we are losing money now quite quickly because this is getting expensive up here. Foreign workers are horrendously expensive. You don't want to rely on them too much. Too many criminals, yes. We're going to have to take a look at that. We seem to have lots of criminals in here. Let's see how the legal system is going. Well, the courthouse is good. Hopefully it comes to the snow. We got nobody in the Tudor jail. How are we doing down here with our... in here? Okay, we're doing okay. Doing good. Doing good. So everything's going to slow down through the winter. One of the advantages with winter is the fact that you can actually get there. Now, we don't want to put fuel in. Oh, we could put fuel in here. We're now... Oh. Okay, let me just do something... let's North Camp there. Disallow. Don't want anyone moving up here at all yet until we've built this. There's no point. We've got that there. So we've got that built, this built. That game run. Got a gas station here as well, which I put in. I can't remember if I put that in on camera or not. It only occurred to me that I thought we needed a decent gas station. But we're slowly putting together the North Camp. And we're on the 26th of November. So what we'll do is we'll just scoot back over to the farm just to illustrate. We've got these two fields here. If I click through all the other fields, you can see that they're all empty. So we've got no surplus in here. And we've got no surplus building up in here because we've got a truck sat here picking the crops up. Now, I'll see if I can show this to you. And we've got a similar situation over here. We've got a truck in here. So if we just let this run, because we're on the 28th of November, I'll just show you what actually happens. So we've got the fields there, we've got the truck there. And if I put the truck, this truck below this one, and this truck below this one, what you'll see is that they're nearly full. But you see, he's now gone away, but we're still on the 29th of December. And we got there, but it was because we got no there. But what happens is because the game allocates a single truck, you can see these crops are now building up. And we'll just see whether the game will set there. There's another truck coming in. See, this is why if you've got an extra truck, the game will allocate it, and he will come in and pick this up, and he will. And what we have to do is So this guy's now not needed, but this one's taken over. And I think we should have a similar situation up here, isn't it? No, here comes the truck that's coming in here. And you can see that, so we're still pulling off. So at the moment, we're still kind of grabbing the crops, even though it's on the 1st of December. But if we just watch this, what you will see is, apologies, it's a little bit boring. In fact, what I'll do is I'll cut this and then I'll come back just as I think the field finally dies around the 5th of December, 4th or 5th of December. So what I'm going to do is just let the game run now, and I'll show you what actually happens when you don't. There it goes. It's just happened. See, that was on the 3rd of December. But we didn't, because we had the truck, we didn't lose the crops that are actually in the truck. So we got a tiny bit of truck there. And that's what happens, is that when you hit the 3rd of December, that's the end of the harvesting cycle. And then you lost it. So what we're actually just losing is the output from these 2 large fields, and that's why they stay black. Anyway, I think this would probably be a good place to stop. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.